the last one is progression. Okay, this is something we've seen in the market in the last couple of years. A lot of HDB owners, they are starting to realize that HDB is not the best asset to hold. So they are starting to upgrade, and this makes up for a lot of the own stay buyers. Okay, so just touch briefly. So first things first, as I mentioned earlier, despite COVID-19, the property price index has dropped by less than 1% in the first half. Okay, in the same period of time, the Straits Times index fell by over 30%. Okay, so even, after circuit breaker is over, etc., there's a slight market recovery, sometimes up, sometimes down. It's still about 20% lower than pre-COVID-19 levels. So first things first, you see already, we are so much more stable than, real estate is so much more stable than shares at this point of time. Okay, so assuming, every month, you think about it every month a certain amount of money goes into shares, go into real estate, go into other form of investment. So accordingly, because of this resilience, my view is part of this money is going to real estate at the moment for reasons that I will share later. Okay, but why is the market so resilient? Okay, because of the cooling measures over the years, buyers are not over leveraged at the moment. Okay, they're expected to have holding power. Okay, similarly, developers also have strong balance sheet. Okay, they're unlikely to face pressure in the short term. Okay, so we have seen this in the papers. Buyers are not over leveraged because of the 9 rounds of cooling measure. Okay, because of the LTV, the ABSD. So there was no bubble that was looming when this pandemic occurred. Okay, so why? Okay, first things first. The GDP in the last 3 to 4 years during the TDSR period, it was not monitored by property price. So if you have been following property prices over the years, okay, every time GDP grows, technically the economy is growing. So real estate prices should follow. Okay, but because of the TDSR and ABSD, okay, people held back on purchase. So you can see between 2013 to about 2016-17, okay, although GDP was growing at about 4 to 5% every year, property prices went down. Okay, so when 17 people went back into the market and bought, okay, they actually have holding power, okay, because they have decided that even with TDSR, ABSD, this is a time to enter the market. This is not a rash decision. Okay, so because of this, the real estate market in Singapore, at least for the Resi, it looks to be on stable foundation. So that's first. Okay, so because of this, people feel that, after every crisis, if you look at our real estate market, usually there's an uptick. Okay, so is there a logic to this? Everybody every time say, after crisis, real estate prices will sure jump. Okay, so my point of view is, besides a more positive outlook in the economy, that's for granted. After a pandemic, after a crisis, everybody is more happy, the economy is better, so people are buying. Okay, that's one. But the other thing is, if you look at the share market, okay, what do people usually buy after making money from shares? Okay, so before every uptake in the cycle, so if you look at this, Asia financial crisis went down, right? So there was a uptick, okay? After Asia financial crisis, then unfortunately we hit by .com, September 11 and SARS, so went down again. Sorry, I'm not very used to my desktop. So went down again. Okay, then after that, after all this over, it went up again. Okay, after all this crisis over, the share prices went up again, and then we were hit by the global financial crisis, went down again, and then the share price recovered again. So you can see that the property price actually mirror the share price. Because why? Because after people make money from shares, they want to diversify the money. So they'll park it into real estate. Okay, so that is a bit of the logic to, how come after every crisis we see that property price typically go up. Because when share price go up, people make money, they exit the shares, they want to buy something else. Okay, so we can see that already happening in the market now. Okay. And then once the sentiment swing, you can see that the price actually increased very fast. So you look at the last 2 down cycles, okay, the price went down by quite a bit in 2009. It went up by 15.7% in 1 quarter, went up by 38.2% in 1 year. Okay, the last one over the 4 years of TDSR, it went down by 8.8% over 4 years. In 2017, when the market went into recovery, it went up by 7.3% in just 2 quarters. So the recovery is very quick. So what people tend to do is, might as well I just park first. Some people are thinking that since the upswing is imminent, okay, they just park first. And why do we think that the upswing is imminent? Because a lot of the advanced economies are expected to be back in the green by 2021. So if you go and look at IMF, or even you look at the news, although there's still lingering doubts about the pandemic, most people think that, we are set for recovery by 2021. So when everything recover in 2021, technically, the point of view is that, property prices should follow. So there's people that are parking their money into real estate. So two things. One is resilient, okay? The price is very stable now. There's no short-term shock, there's probably no short-term shock foreseen, okay? People expect the prices to hold compared to other markets, okay? In the worst-case scenario that, really things don't improve. But in the best-case scenario, when things improve, I think a very strong uptick is possible. Okay, so that's why people are coming into real estate for investment. As I say, if you look at it every month, there's a certain pot of money that goes to investment. So the pot that's going into real estate is probably stronger now. Okay, last thing is, the interest rate is at an all-time low. Okay, so when you buy a property, you pay 5% or up to 25%, depending on how much cash on CPF you're using. The rest of the 75% is actually loan. So your cost is actually the cost of borrowing, and the cost of borrowing is actually at all-time low. So it actually makes even more sense for investors to want to come in. Okay, so the last reason is, of course, progression. This is where we see a lot of homestay buyers, they are coming in. Okay, so we see a higher proportion over the last 2 years of HDB owners. They are coming into the private market. In fact, in the last 20 years, there's a 10% drop in HDB ownership. So if you look at this, I hope you can see my cursor. Okay, so in 2000, for example, percentage of HDB owners is 88%. Okay, by 2019, which is last year, okay, percentage has dropped to 78%. So 10% of HDB owners actually went into private. And this pace is actually faster. Okay, if you look at 2015 is 80%, 2019 is 78%. So it's increasing to about 2% every 5 years. Okay, so that is why there is a strong demand in own stay private resi. Okay, and why is this so? I think this script, you probably hear until tired. So just for the sake of having a complete story here, because resale prices have largely remained stagnant. Okay, in fact, it's not trending up. It's not expected to trend upwards anytime soon. Okay, and people are starting to realize this. Okay, that holding HDB may not be the best option for them. So they are starting to exit the HDB. Some as early as MOP, they just take it that they want to earn the government one time. Okay, after MOP, they straight away look to sell, and then they will take the money and they will try to buy another property. Okay, so in the last 8 years, 2013 to now, if you look at the HDB resale price, is not very, very nice. In Ang Mo Kio, down by 16.9%. Even in the so-called Jurong East, where it's supposed to be very happening, it went down by 6.9%. Okay, all these numbers are actually available in HDB. You can go to HDB website and you can see. So these are the median resale prices over the last 8 years. Okay, is on a downward trend. Of course, recently it's a bit better, but more or less, that's it already. People don't expect resale prices to shoot up or increase at a rapid pace like last time. So, holding on to the HDB may not be the best option for them, and people are starting to realize this. Okay, secondly, this one, I don't know whether you feel it, but I feel it. Okay, maybe the circuit breaker and the current work from home market may also have increased the demand for home. Okay, for example, myself, okay, I used to be not a fan of study. Okay, I don't really like study in the unit last time. Okay, but after this circuit breaker work from home, now I'm house hunting. I'm looking for a home. Actually, the study is very important to me. Okay, I got 2 kids. Okay, it's really, really very hard to work if I don't have a proper place to do my work at home. If I do Zoom meetings, I think some of my colleagues do Zoom meeting, they see my daughter running around, that kind of thing. You don't have a proper place to work at home. Okay, so in this last few months, maybe people are realizing that the place that they are currently staying is not the most ideal moving forward, which lead to some of the purchases as well. After all, like we share point 1 and point 2. Okay, people expect market to be stable. People expect that future prices may be a bit more expensive. That's why they don't mind to continue to look for their own stay property at the moment. Okay, so what are the expectations? Okay, this one a lot of people also. I mean, you and I, your friends, your clients always ask, hey, how will go up or not? If I have this crystal ball, I will not be sitting here and doing this mass briefing with you already, correct or not? Nobody can say with 100% certainty that, the price will sure go up. Of course, with a bit of homework, with what we have just shared, it looks very good, okay? But nobody can tell you for sure. But what I can tell you is, based on history, okay, property is very, very, it's a very, very valid holding. Okay, so experience has shown us time and time again, okay, today's price is tomorrow's bargain. Okay, if you look at it, this is less than 16 years ago. In 2004, the sale was launched at 977. Okay, Marina Bay D1. The sale is really, really one of, I think, the nicest homes currently, I mean, in the market. Okay, it was launched at 977. Do you know in this year, a HDB flat in Boon Tiong sold at 945 PSF. So in the span of 16 years, okay, the sale PSF become a HDB PSF. Okay, so that is how much prices have grown. So time and time again, we see that, hey, whatever price that we deem is expensive today, when we look back in 5 years, 10 years, like, hey, how come we didn't enter the market? I'm sure you have similar experiences. I have similar experiences. Your clients probably will also have similar experiences. Okay, so 10 years ago, EC was about 650 to 750. Okay, this OCR is about 700 to 900. Okay, this one is double bay. Okay, this is one of my first projects. Okay, those who did double bay last time, it's about 700 PSF OCR. Okay, near Simei MRT. Okay, RCR, this is Trivista. Okay, about 10 years ago or so, in Toa Payoh. I remember it's about 1,900 to 1,001 if I remember correctly. Okay, that's 10 years ago. And this is Sophia Residences. Okay, if I remember correctly, it's freehold. It's about 1,500, 1,500, 1,600 based on my memory. It's about 10 years ago also. So 10 years ago, this is the kind of price. 1,600 you buy freehold at Dhoby Ghaut MRT. Okay, 5 years ago, EC becomes 750 to 850. This is brownstone. Okay, OCR become 1,000 to 1,002. You know, your St. Reeds, all these Alps. Okay, RCR become 1,003 to 1,005. This is Gem Residences. Toa Payoh also become about 1,004 at launch. So in the span of 5 years, from 1,000 become 1,004 already. And Marina One, okay, it's still selling very well now. Okay, at launch it was 1,008, just for your info. Okay, about 1,008, 1,009 you can get already. Now it's going about 2,002 to 2,004. Okay, so 5 years ago, that was the price. Now we see EC 1,000 to 1,001. Okay, OCR we see about 1,003 to 1,005. RCR we can go as high as 2,000. For, you look at Woodleigh, all this is 2,000 already. And your CCR, you can go as high as 2,008 to 3,008. Okay, so 2030, when Morgan Stanley predicted that it will double by 2030, everybody was like, sure or not, sure or not. No, based on history, it's like, why not? Okay, we have already seen, it's really double. So how come it cannot double again? Okay, maybe not, maybe yes, maybe no, but certainly, the upside potential is there, based on the track record of property in Singapore so far. I don't even need to go back into, 1980s, 1990s, where you can get things for dirt cheap. Even the last 10 years, the 10 years that, I've been in the ERA, I've seen the price go up by so much. Okay, so whatever price that you think is expensive today, 5 years later, you'll look back and it's like, hey, how come I never buy? How come that time I think it's expensive? So I think this is a very valid mindset to take into to the future if you're looking at buying a property, be it for own stay or be it for investment. Okay, and most importantly, what if you wake up one morning and then you see the news, hey, a vaccine has been approved. Okay, although a lot of people think that it's very far away, and you may be skeptical about the early progress, but will it happen? Eventually, will it happen? The whole world is looking for a vaccine. Okay, to quote, I used to watch a bit of a lot of TV when I was studying. So when, for example, when US was in a space race, in 2 years they sent a person to the moon. So what is a vaccine given the technology now? Okay, so if the whole world is looking for a vaccine, don't you think it's an eventuality that we will find it? Maybe not so soon. Okay, but could it be so soon? If you look at the news, you're very skeptical about the Russian one. China, they show off. You think that, hey, it's not right. Fine, you may be right, but when will this actually be right? Is it sooner rather than later? You think about it. Okay, so if you wake up one morning and you find that, hey, the vaccine has been found, you have wasted the crisis already, because COVID-19 will be a thing of the past already. Okay, so like I say, I will not go too deep into all these market sentiments. We have a lot of seminars recently. Okay, I included this in the slide. So, if you want to share with your client or if you want to do your own reading, this is not exhaustive. Okay, this list is not everything. If you go into ERA portal, you can find everything. Okay, but these are some of the recent ones, or some that is in line with what I just shared. Okay, you just click on the box. Okay, you will be able to go to the slide. Okay, you'll link you direct to the slide. Like I say, sorry, my laptop is down, so I am unable to show you because this is a PDF file. Earlier version of the PDF file. Okay, so with that, let's go a bit into Myra. Okay, it's developed by Selangor Dredging Berhad. Sorry, I think my laptop is back up. Give me a moment. Okay lah, never mind. Okay lah. If you look at the PowerPoint that I'll send out, I actually wanted to show you lah. So if you click on this picture, it actually show you the track record of SDB. So actually they developed quite a few things in Malaysia and Singapore. Okay, this is one Draycott, this is 3 residences. These are 2 other developments that they have done in Singapore. Okay, so only 85 freehold units. Okay, 9 Mayapa Chatir is the address. So it's nestled in the sought after District 13. Okay, expected date of vacant possession 30th of November 2024. Expected date of legal completion is 30th November 2027. Okay, site area 2,800 square meters. Number of stories 12. Okay, again, you know, I'm sorry because of the technical difficulties I can't show you, but when you get the slide, you know, you'll be able to click in and you'll be able to see these architects. Okay, so the local architect is JGP. Okay, they have actually done quite a few developments in Singapore. Okay, SDB's how to say DNA lah, or their trademark is they always engage a foreign architect. Okay, you know, a designer from overseas to give some input. So in this case, they actually look for Pigment Tozer. Pigment Tozer is from London. Okay, so they actually gave some inputs that we will be sharing later. And the landscape designer is Aspect of Design. Okay, they have actually done a lot of the developments for SDB recently. Okay, so this is the location map. Okay, so we are located in D13. Okay, we are very, very close to Potong Pasir MRT. We're on the city's fringe. So how close to Potong Pasir MRT is only about 150 meters away. I zoom in further. This is us. This is Potong Pasir MRT. Okay, we walk. Okay, if you walk very, very slowly, it's 2 minutes. Okay, if you are rushing for time, I think you can reach there in 1 minute. Okay, if you are 1 minute plus, actually no difference, 150 meters. You walk fast, walk slow, it's still that 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, it's that close. Okay, it doesn't matter how fast you walk, you still be able to reach in 2 minutes. Okay, so instantly, you know, we can identify some of the selling points that we sorry. Okay, we can expect some of the selling points. We can straight away identify some of the selling points. So first thing is freehold. Okay, MRT. Okay, city fringe and amenities. Okay, so what is freehold? Okay, freehold. You know, last time when you know, I remember 10 years ago when people went to show flat, they ask you, hey, what's the tenure? You say 99 years, they walk out. Okay, nowadays you don't get that. Okay, so why? I think over the years, people are more and more accepting to 99 years. That's one. 2 is, you know, freehold is so rare that people actually forgot about it. Okay, it's not so common anymore. So people already don't have this expectation to want freehold. But freehold is actually very valuable. Okay, nowadays we sell mostly leasehold. So, you know, time and again, we will say actually leasehold is as good as freehold. But actually, you think about it, freehold actually have a lot of advantages. So first things first, I know this is a bit corny, but you know, if time equals to money, if your time lasts forever, does it mean that your money is a lot more? Even if you think as simple as rental, you can rent for 99 years, but you can rent until the end of time, 9,000 years. Okay, a bit 夸张, but you know, you can rent forever. You know, you hold the land forever. Okay, that's the concept of freehold. You own it forever. Okay, there's no lifespan to what you earn. Lifespan to your property. Okay, so leasehold values, they actually depreciate compared to freehold land over time. Okay, so as time passes, you know, your freehold command increasingly greater premium. Okay, so this is a benefit that you can pass down perpetually. You can pass down forever. So a lot of people look at this graph and they say, hey, actually leasehold is 96% of freehold. That may be true. Number one, this is a valuation principle. As we know, valuation is very academic. You know, it doesn't take into account perception. It's more on you know, put it this way, government want you to buy leasehold land. So they will not value leasehold at too much lower than freehold. Okay, that's number one. But number two, no matter when you sell, you will always be 100%. Okay, so to put it in a context, so if I'm the original owner, my first buyer, be it 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, he got no consideration of remaining lease and what will his considerations be when he want to sell to the next owner. Whereas if, you know, leasehold, if now you're looking to buy a leasehold property, if the property is 10 years old, you're probably still very comfortable, you know, maybe 10 years later when you sell, you know, still got 80-year lease, okay. But your buyer will think, hey, buy 80 years, if I stay 10 years, less 70 years, or if I stay 15 years, less 60 years, what is my next buyer is going to think? So eventually, as you pass down, the tenure become a limiting factor in your property. Okay, people will start to realize that, hey, you know, it's not easy for me to transfer this property in the future. Okay, freehold, you got no such problems. Okay, at a certain age, the buyer that buy your property, Okay, first of all, they will know that I buy this, if I can break even, I hang already. And they'll factor it into the price that they pay for your property. Whereas for freehold, you don't have this problem. Okay, so you have a tenure, you have a lease that runs forever. Okay, so you can see, I never draw a lot of examples, but let's draw some side to side near us. So you look at Blossoms at Woodleigh, it's older than 8 at Woodleigh, it's further away from MRT than 8 at Woodleigh, is commanding a higher price at the moment. And this is when, so-called the lease of 8 at Woodleigh is still relatively strong. There's still about 10, it's only about 10 years gone. Okay, we look further, a bit more gone. We go down one more stop to Farrer Park. City Square is going at 1,005 now. Carriesdale, okay, quite close. I mean, not very close, but 2006 completed, about 80 years left. It's going at 1,001 only. So you can start to see that, as you age a bit more, the value starts to shine. The value of freehold starts to shine. Okay, and secondly, okay, freehold is very finite. Okay, the government only sells land on 99-year lease. Okay, so freehold land is finite. Okay, there will never be more freehold titles. Okay, there will never be more. So whatever freehold in Singapore at the moment, that's it. There will be no more freehold titles. In fact, it can get lesser. Okay, for example, there's some freehold land that, when the developer want to request for permission to develop into resi, they convert it into leasehold 99. For example, the whole plot in Pasir Ris. Okay, if you are aware of the Libya, all these plot used to be freehold land, but to convert it into a resi land, I think the government changed the tenure to 99 years. Okay, under land acquisition, if government take back land, you will become 99 years. Okay, so your freehold only get less. You'll never get more, you only get less. So it's it's a very, very rare commodity that's only gonna get lesser over time. Okay, government only sell land on 99 year. It's not I say one. Okay, this is shared by our PM in 2018 in his National Day rally. Okay, so the whole statement, he says something like, government will not sell you freehold because it's unequal and socially divisive. So if I turn it around, if you own a freehold land, that means you are very garang, you are unequal compared to your peers because you have a tenure that lasts forever. Okay, if we turn it around, okay, but I'm sure that's not his context, but just to say an example. Okay, so therefore, freehold properties are very rare. Okay, they're only available when there are collective sales. Okay, so even in the collective sale fever that we see in 2017 to 2019, okay, there's only about 8,651 new freehold units compared to 35,000 leasehold 99 units. Okay, so even with this collective sale fever, where majority of the properties that en bloc are freehold, the number of freehold units come out is only 20% of what's available in the market. Okay, in D13 itself, the freehold units is just about 6% of what is launched in the last 5 years. Last 5 years, D13, there's quite a few launches. Only about 6% of the units are freehold. Okay, so this is how rare freehold is. Okay, so if we go back in a basic lesson in economics, land itself is inelastic. It's inelastic, meaning that it's very hard to create more supply. Okay, freehold lucky worse. Okay, freehold is not, you cannot create more supply. So that's why we say inelastic, meaning that to create more supply, price must increase more. Okay, I hope you understand. This is an economic concept. Okay, so that is why you think about it. Okay, with the kind of prices that's being paid by developer in this recent collective sale fever. Okay, how much do you think that freehold will cost in the next cycle? Okay, I think this is something to think about. Okay, if we have to pay this price for 2020 freehold, in 2025 maybe, when there's a new collective wave of collective sales, how much will the developer have to pay for freehold, and how much will consumer have to pay to buy the freehold in the next cycle? Okay, something to think about. So whatever freehold you get now, you think it's expensive, wait another 5 years, wait and see. Okay, so lastly, okay, freehold is a legacy. Okay, this is something I draw from my own personal experience, because I think I shared earlier, I'm a bit of house hunting. So part of my consideration, I want something that's immediate occupation, so I can't be looking at projects. So if I look at resale, most of the resale, the lease has run down a bit. Okay, and I am looking for something that I want to pass something down to my children. Okay, so I'm not looking to sell the property in my lifetime if I buy to only stay, of course, unless someone give me an offer I can't refuse. So let's say I stay for 20 years, then if I touch wood, I pass away So I leave a 20-year, 30-year property to my children. How much value is that? Okay, put in context, I mean, if I buy a life insurance, I'm covered for maybe 1.5 million, for example. Okay, if I die in the next 5 years, 10 years, the 1.5 million is quite a bit of money. Okay, they can use it, they can down pay the property, and then the property will grow with time and age. Okay, because it's freehold, it'll grow with time and age. compared to if I buy a leasehold, they use the 1.5 million to, let's say, pay off the property. Then after that, the property depreciate. Then it's as good as I never leave anything for them, no. But if, let's say, I don't die so early, and I die maybe 20, 30, 40 years down the line, $1.5 million may not be a lot of money already. But the property, hopefully, because it's freehold, when I pass away, they still have something that hold value. So this is a bit of, legacy. Okay, I think, as parents, I think we all hope that we want to pass something to our children. I want to give them a head start in life. And, I'm not rich. I don't think I can pass them down a lot of cash. So I only hope that the house that I'm passing down to them will give them a head start in life. And if I buy a leasehold and we stay there for 30, 40 years, how much head start is that going to give them? You get what I mean? So this is something to think about. Freehold is a bit of legacy for your future generation. Okay, so as I mentioned, they enjoy immunity from depreciation. They pass a certain age. Okay, of course, if you look at leasehold property that's relatively new, you don't have such problems. But I say if you're looking to stay there for 20 years, 30 years, or or to hold it forever and pass it on, then the lifespan of the property becomes a consideration, you see. Okay, so there's more assurance, okay? And more importantly, like we share, because freehold land is very finite, okay, there's greater en bloc potential in the future. Okay, so if you look at the last collective sale fever, okay, about 70% to 80% of the land sold is freehold. Okay, developers are hungry for freehold land because they know that freehold is something that will always be in demand. Number one. Number two is I can hold it forever, correct lor? You can tell me that I have to pay the ABSD to the government, so I pay one off lor, but I can hold it forever. You follow what I mean? So even for the developer itself, it's better because I pay a one-off 15%, I up the price by 20%, I hold it forever and slowly sell lor. You get what I mean? So it's the tenure that makes freehold so attractive. Okay, so you see in the last cycle, the developers that are actually willing to pay premium to secure freehold site. I just pull out two examples. Okay, one is the Dunnan area. So you look at Chancery Court, okay, it's 99 year, okay, it's still about 1610. Okay, just down the road a bit, Dunnan Gardens is freehold. It's still at 1914, It's about the same period of time along the same road. I think if you walk maybe 1-2 minutes from each other, it's about $300 per square foot more that developer pay just for the freehold title. Okay, and then you look at Singapore's most expensive land so far. Okay, 2910, this is Park House. Okay, and then next to it, there's a GLS, Cascade Road. Again, it's about the same time. Okay, so the 99 years, 2377, everyone already, Orchard 2377 is a new high. But 2 months now, next to it, the freehold is still 2910. Okay, it's $533 more, okay, for a freehold. So this is the extent that developers value freehold more. So if you look at the Ballast table and tell me it's 4%, no, it's not 4%. Okay, 4% is the academic valuation, which I'm sure we all do sales. We know that valuation is a bit of more academic. It doesn't take into account, perception, mindset, all this. It just looks at very, numbers. It's not that kind of, it's not fully reflective of the market. Okay, so if you're wondering what Park House look like, is it very nice? That's why you entice the sellers with a lot of money to sell. Okay, this is what Park House look like. If I tell you it's a HDB flat, maybe you believe me. So this is Park House. Okay, the only two strength is location and freehold. Okay, so based purely on the fact that it's a freehold, although it look like HDB flat, okay, even after 40 years, it still commands such a strong premium. Okay, this is Park House. If you don't believe it, this is the most expensive residential land in Singapore's history. Okay, this HDB looking thing building. Okay, so for your information. Okay, so this one I think I already shared upon. So it's a legacy for your children. So if you touch on en bloc, same lor. So after 30 years, 40 years, your freehold en bloc potential is always there. People will always crave for freehold land. Put it that way. Okay, there will always be redevelopment value in freehold land. Okay, developers will always be looking out for freehold land. Okay, so I think I touched a lot on freehold. So maybe we go faster for the rest of the things. So next thing is MRT. Okay, it's almost at your doorstep. I think we mentioned repeatedly. So this is Myra. You walk. In fact, you can cut diagonally across here because this Google map is not updated. So you can cut diagonally across here. Okay, so it's about less than 2 minutes. I walk is about 1 minute plus only. Okay, but if you walk really, really slowly, it's 2 minutes. 150 meters. Usain Bolt can run 200 meters in 20 seconds. Okay, so you think about it, it's 150 meters only. Okay, from there, it's less than 20 minutes to maybe Marina Bay, Orchard. You think about it, it's only 6 stops to Orchard, 4 stops to Dhoby Ghaut, and another 2 more stops to Orchard. So it's less than 20 minutes to Orchard, okay, less than about 20 minutes to Marina Bay. So it's very, very close to your current downtown core. Okay, you can travel to a lot of key locations under 30 minutes, as far as One North, as far as Congo, as far as Marina Bay, a lot of places you can reach under 30 minutes by train. Okay, and freehold properties are rare. We mentioned earlier, freehold properties near MRT lagi rare. Okay, so it's a winning combination. Okay, you have a lease that runs forever next to a community that is very valuable in the eyes of many owners and investors. Okay, so in the last 10 years, there are a lot of freehold launches near MRT. Okay, so sorry, in the last 10 years, how many freehold launches are there near the MRT? Okay, I can't go through the whole of Singapore, but since we are on the Northeast line, okay, we look roughly at the Northeast line in the last 10 years. Okay, so at Potong Pasir, okay, we have Myra, which is now. We have 18 Woodsville. I think this is early 2010s. We have Addition, which is 2-3 years ago. That's about it. Okay, the rest are not in the last 10 years, but in the last 10 years, leasehold, you have Poiz, you have Nin, you have Senate, you have St. Ritz, you have Venue. Okay, Potong Pasir is probably the one with the most. If you go to Woodleigh, in the last 10 years, you have 8 at Woodleigh, you have Park Colonial, you have Woodleigh Residences, no freehold. If we go further up, Serangoon, there's only Forest Wood, okay, but it's leasehold in the last 10 years. You go further up, Kovan, okay, you have Kovan Regency, you have Stars at Kovan. If you want to squeeze a bit, Kovan Residences is about 10 years launch also. Okay, Kovan Melody slightly more than 10 years, but these are all leasehold. If you go further down the road, then you have 2 freehold, you have Tembusu and you have Tri-Leaf. But that's again another small 2 compared to so many leasehold. You go further up, Buangkok, 0. You go further up, Sengkang, 0. You go further up to Punggol, 0. Okay, so just to illustrate, okay, a brand new freehold condo near MRT is a rarity in Singapore's market. Okay, I can't illustrate along the whole MRT line, I just draw a northeast example for you to share with your clients. So it's very rare. Okay, and lastly, thirdly, we're at City Fringe. Okay, so we are minutes from the city center. Okay, so we are located here where the star is. So you can see, actually it's almost like we are in the middle of Singapore. So we are good either towards the traditional core or even towards the future, decentralized costs. Okay, so we are close to everywhere. Okay, well connected by road, so you can reach these places easily. So if you drive, okay, less than 10 minutes to Orchard, about 13 minutes to Marina Bay, about 12 minutes to Raffles Place. Even you go to Airport Jewel, it's about 15 minutes away only. Okay, and because we are in the CCR and we are in the middle of Singapore, we're also very close to the future decentralized districts. Okay, which is, your North Coast Innovation Corridor, your Paya Lebar Central. So, if you drive to Paya Lebar Central, it's only about 6 minutes. Okay, you drive to Seletar Aerospace, it's only about 14 minutes. You drive to the future Punggol Digital District, it's about 18 minutes. Even if you go all the way to Changi Business Park, it's about 15 minutes. Okay, all these timings are based on Google Map. If you don't believe me, you go to Google Map and you key in the location yourself, and then you will see the timing. Okay, Google Map usually assume you drive slowly also. So if you maybe drive, it's maybe even faster. Okay, and last things, of course, if you stay there, your tenants or the owners, you need amenities. This is something that, a lot of, important to a lot of Singaporeans, and everything you need is actually nearby. Okay, so first things first, you have Poiz, okay? Cover almost everything already. Okay, you want NTUC, you have, you want food, you have, you want Starbucks, you want Watsons, you want clinic. Okay, Poiz covers majority of your needs already, even your preschool, tuition centers all have. Okay, but if you want even more shopping, okay, along the Northeast line, there's a lot of shopping. You go 1 stop, you have the future Woodleigh Mall. 2 stops, you have NEX. 3 stops at Heartland Mall. You want 5 stops, you have next time Sengkang Grand. 6 stops, you have Campus One. 7 stops, you have Waterway Point. You want to go the other way, 2 stops to City Square, 4 stops to Plaza Sing. Okay, like I say, 6 stops to Orchard. Okay, 5 stops to Clarke Quay. You want to go Zouk, it's only 5 stops away. You want to go all the way to Harbourfront and the future Greater Southern Waterfront, it's only 8 stops. Okay, direct line all the way to Harbourfront is only 8 stops. Okay, and if you are more heartlander, you still want your heartland things. Okay, also within walking distance. Okay, Poiz, like I said, there was an NTUC. Okay, if you walk a bit more, there's an Angmo supermarket here. Okay, sell things, quite a few things. I think my mother-in-law stays in Potong Pasir, so I'm quite familiar with this area. Okay, there's a McDonald's. Okay, you want McDonald's also have. Don't need to go and call and spend the delivery fee, just walk across. Okay, there's a small wet market here. Okay, there's a Sheng Siong. Used to be NTUC, now gonna be Sheng Siong over here. And there's a food center kopitiam here. There's actually 2 more here, but I didn't circle all. But this one is the one with the very nice chicken rice and with the very nice Western. So this one is here. Okay, so all within walking distance. Okay, very near. You're here. Okay, so it's all within maybe 5 minutes walk. Okay, if you want a bit of recreation, okay, you walk up a bit from Myra. You walk up along this road, less than 5 minutes, you reach Kallang River. Okay, then you can do whatever you want along the river lah, jog cycle don't know what you want to do there but you can go, you'll reach the river in less than 5 minutes. Okay, and most importantly this is something that a lot of Singaporean is important to a lot of Singaporeans. It's actually very near a school. So if you have a boy, okay, you are very, very near to St. Andrew's Junior School. Okay, it's only about 300 meters. Okay, don't even need to cross road. No, you can let them walk yourself. You have peace of mind. They just walk along the pavement, then they reach school already. After school, they can walk back themselves. Okay, you don't have to worry that they need to cross road. Got kena langgar by car. All these. It's a safe and short walk, less than 4 minutes to St. Andrew's Junior School. Okay, along the same road. Okay, just walk down only. Okay, some places, we need to we wait for architect to check whether it's within 1 click or not. This one I outright can tell you, if this one is not under 1 click, I don't think we can find anything else that's under 1 click already. Okay, is that near? Okay, is that near? Okay, and the best part about this St. Andrew's Village is primary all the way to JC. Okay, so PSLE apparently is a headache for a lot of parents. I am not there yet. Okay, but you look at it you just look at it to enter St. Andrews, if you are not affiliated the lower score is 247. Okay, for express, for normal is 193, 142. If you are in St. Andrews Primary, okay, it's 99, 152 and 193. It's as good as you don't need to go PSLE. Okay, you can don't go PSLE, you maybe also can make it into St. Andrews Secondary. Okay, so it's that good. Okay, once you're in a primary school, you are assured already. So it's like a 直通车 lor. Once I within 1 click I put my son there. I got peace of mind all the way until JC. Okay, the JC may be a bit tougher, but for secondary school guarantee Okay, like I say 99, 152, 193. It's not hard okay, compared to 247, 193 and 142. Okay, this is based on last year. Okay, I don't know whether this year will be lower. Okay, someone say if it's girl bo pian there's other school Okay, there's a Cedar Girls Secondary, there's a Cedar Primary School, there's a Canosa, sorry I can't pronounce this but I know it's quite a good school. Primary school, you have Bartley, you have Marie Stella, you have Pei Chun, you have First Toa Payoh Primary School, you have BT Secondary School. Okay, if girl, I'm sorry. Okay, but I think nowadays the IB Secondary School have already. Okay, so I'm not very sure also. But the most important thing is we are within 1 click to St. Andrews Primary School for parents who have boys. Okay, for expats, okay, we're actually very near to Stanford American School as well. It's 1 stop away. Okay, at Woodleigh MRT. Okay, so there is actually clear value. Again, I answer the question, you don't have girl, you don't have boy, but your next time seller or your tenant may have boy Okay, so a lot of people say near school is more expensive. Okay, actually research has been done by NUS on this. Okay, so in the private housing market, if you lose your top 50 ranked school, it will cause the price to decline by about 8.5% to about 12.2%, depending on how near the school is, 1 km or 2 km. Okay, so it will cost price to decline by 8.5% to 12.2%. Okay, if you lose your top 5 ranking school. Okay, so the study of the finding confirmed that homes located within a 2 km radius of popular primary school commands large price premiums. Okay, this one again not I say one. Okay, this one is an NUS research paper done by I think Professor Sin some time ago. Okay, I don't think it's very recent, it's a few years ago. But again, this is a publicized paper. Okay, people actually, the academic actually go and study what is the effect of a school near your place. So correct, you may not have a son, but next time your buyer in the future may have a son, or your tenant may have a son. Okay, these are things that will be valuable to them. Okay, so all in all, our USP, I think we can summarize in 4 things. So freehold, MRT, city fringe, and there's a lot of amenities. Okay, so that's Myra in a nutshell. Okay, our USPs. Okay, so I'll touch a bit on the product now. Sorry, because this one is not my laptop, so I have to spread into 2 parts. Okay, can see, right? Okay, so okay, so I'll touch a bit on the design of Myra now. Okay, so first things first, for those who have not seen or have not been briefed, okay, I will just repeat again. So those who have heard it, bear with me. Okay, wait, okay, this is Myra. Okay, this is the model. Okay, unfortunately, we can't upload this yet, okay, until we get clearance from developer. But for the purposes of this briefing, I'll just show you the virtual tour of the model first. Okay, so first things first, there's 2 in and 2 out. Our entrance is along Mayapa Chatir Road. Okay, So first, when you come in, there's an arrival plaza. Okay, this arrival plaza, there's a mirror refurbished ceiling. So the whole idea is to give it a very, very grand entrance. If you look at this hole here, this is actually an oculus for natural light to come through. So you have a very grand feeling when you come home. Okay, the facilities are all located on the ground floor. Okay, so it's by the side. So you can see the swimming pool is at the side all the way to the back. Okay, over here, okay, you have an outdoor gym. Okay, so the idea of having an outdoor gym is to maximize the facilities. So you have a open gym that's surrounded by the pool. Okay, maybe after that you just take a shower, you can jump in the pool and relax. Okay, so at the moment it's open, but in the future, if the residents want, you can go to MCST, you want to go and build a glass or whatever, then it's up to you. Okay, but at the moment, the whole concept of the design is to have an open air gym that is, flanked by the pool. Okay, then we go back to the front again. Okay, so if you look at the first floor, it's actually higher, right? So this is about 8.5 meters. Okay, so the first units are away from the facilities here. You are raised a higher level. Okay, and I don't think you can see it very clearly, but when you're on site, you can see actually every 3 levels, the color will get darker. Okay, so this is pigmentosa's input. Okay, so the idea of having this shading, okay, 2 things. One is it will make the building look taller. 2 is at sunset, okay, it will give the building a very nice and unique tone. Okay, so this is a special touch to make the building look a bit more special. Okay, the other thing that you notice about SDP, the developer, is they are more into boutique development. So they don't like to do a lot of big developments. They like to think about more of the lifestyle. I'm sorry I couldn't click on the slide to show you the web page. So one of their core concepts is, they want to make a livable habitats, good lighting, nice ventilation. So that's why, you look at their developments, typically they're more of the boutique type. So this is more in line with what they are known for. Okay, so the units are all north-south orientation, okay, except for the 4-bedroom here. Okay, you face the east. Okay, 4-bedroom, there will be a window that faces the east. Okay, let me go back to the slide. Okay, I tell you here first. Okay, so at the back, actually you have borrowed views to the condo behind. You can see their pool view. Okay, let me go back to the slide. Okay, so you will be able to have okay, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. Okay, so we have 8 stacks. Okay, 1 to 4 bedrooms. Okay, the 1 bedroom from about 474 square feet. Okay, the 4 bedrooms to 1324 square feet. Okay, so the 4 bedrooms are actually very sizable. Okay, so this is the placement. So I was mentioning, okay, so one of the 4-bedroom, you have a look towards the east. But if you're worried about the sun, I don't think it's a big issue because one Leicester is here. So it should not block part of the sun. Okay, so I was saying just now, so you probably have a bit of borrowed view. So if you buy, stack 8, stack 1, and stack 2, okay, you have a borrowed pool view from Inferion. Okay, Interro, sorry, you have borrowed pool view from Interro. Okay, towards here, if you see this part of Poiz, if I remember correctly, it's up to about 3-4 stories only. Then you have the resi block. So actually, you have quite good setback as well. Okay, if you are facing the front. Okay, so if this side okay then it's a pool view. Okay, so this is the side. Okay, I disclaim this one is not drawn to scale. Okay, we just paste the site plan on the location itself. Okay, this is Tombalik also because the photo we take is from this way So just in case, so I flip the location opposite also, so you can see you forwards is Poiz Centre, MRT is here. You can cut across this part. Okay, so it's about less than 2 minutes walk. You borrow some pool views from here. Okay, like I say, Google Map is not very updated, so Poiz is not even built yet. Okay, but you get the idea So this is our site. Okay, where my cursor is at now. You can borrow the pool views from Interro, and there's a slight pool view here. Okay, over here, it's low rise. You can actually look across as well. Okay, so coming to the layouts. Okay, I think one thing that you have to notice is that straight away there's no household shelter in the unit. Okay, for those that are unaware. Okay, moving on. We will see more household shelter in the unit. Okay, because the stairwell cannot be used as a household shelter anymore. Okay, so developers got 2 options. Either I build 2 staircases, 1 staircase as a household shelter and 1 staircase as the normal staircase. Okay, because staircase now need to be ventilated, so they cannot serve as a bomb shelter unless you build 2 staircases. Okay, so the option of most developers will be to put the household shelter in the unit. So in this case, you have a 470 square feet, but it's majority usable. So although floor plan don't look like it, this will probably be a very nice and spacious one-bedroom unit at 470 over square feet. Okay, two-bedroom, we have 4 types. Okay, the first one is the B1, which is the more traditional layout. All our two-bedrooms come with 2 toilets, so there's no 2-bedroom, 1 toilet here. So it's all a bit more for own stay, a couple, maybe own stay with 1 kid, okay, or 2 tenants. Okay, so this is the more typical layout. Okay, B2 is the one where you probably have a lot of questions as to, what's the difference between B2 and B2a? The answer is exactly the same, okay, except the ceiling for living and dining for 0904, which is B2a, is 10 cm lower. Okay, the reason why the ceiling is 10 cm lower is if you go back to the site plan, you realize that from the 10th floor onwards, these 2 stacks will combine to become 1 stack. Okay, so 0904 just happened to be at the part where the floor is a bit more sunken. So 0904, the ceiling height will be at 2.75 instead of 2.85 for the rest of the stack or the rest of the units. So the only difference is living and dining, the ceiling is about 10 cm shorter. Okay. Okay, and then you have B3. Okay, this is similar. Okay, and then you have B4. Okay, I will not go through all the layout. 3-bedroom, you only have 1 type. That is the C1. Okay, it's about 800 plus square feet. I can't remember exactly the conversion. Let's see. It's about 872 square feet. Okay, 872 square feet. Okay, you have a dumbbell layout. So although you see the 872, but actually it's because there's no space, wasted space on the corridor. Okay, it's a very efficient unit. Okay, and 4-bedroom, this is the highlight of the development. Okay, this is a very spacious 4-bedroom layout at about 1,300 square feet. Okay, so actually the possibilities are limitless. Okay, like I said, now I'm looking for a house, although this is probably out of my budget. But you think about it, there's so many things you can do to this unit. If you take away the dry kitchen, for example, you can put the dining here. You can have a very big living dining. Okay, if you want your home office, you can actually convert this to a home office. Okay, you can actually build a wall. You can have home office plus you have a meeting room table here. There's so much possibilities with a unit of this size. A lot of room for imagination. Okay, we really, as someone who's looking for property now, I see a lot of beautiful things you can do with this layout. Okay, of course, we have another 4-bedroom type. This is the one that only have 3 units. The one that is on top of the 2 other stacks. Okay, so this is a more conventional 4-bedroom layout. A longish living dining junior master. On the price, okay, so price from 1.065 to 2.849. Okay, so coming to our location, okay, you must remember that HDB flats near us is transacting at 1.2 million. Okay, so that's first things first. Okay, our 3-bedroom start from about 1.79. Okay, HDB is already 1.2. Okay, that's first. Okay, secondly, within Potong Pasir itself. Okay, most of the flats in Potong Pasir, I'm sure is old. Okay, so you click around, it's about 60 over years left on the lease. And the 4-room is still transacting about 500 over 1,000 to 580,000. This is a HDB with only 60 years left. Okay, so Potong Pasir itself is a very, very valued location. Okay, D13 itself is a very sought after district. So that's number 1. Okay, number 2 is how much is in that context, so how much is private selling. Okay, so let's look at our nearest comparable, which is Park Colonial and Woodleigh Residences. Okay, averagely they are transacting about 1,009, as high as 2001 and 2002. Okay, you go further up, 1, 2, 3, 4 stops to Sengkang Grand, is transacting about 1,007 with highest of 1,008. Okay, so this is leasehold 99 near MRT prices. Okay, so if we look at it, we take into account, let's say freehold between 10 to 20%. So how much should a freehold cost? So if I take 10% increase, about 2003 to 2004, 15% 2004 to 2005. If you value freehold at 20%, it's 2005 to 2006. Of course, like I say, this is up to how much you value freehold. Between 10 to 20%, logically, this is the kind of prices that freehold should be asking for. Okay, short-term expectations. Okay, if we talk about price, okay, we also have to address that, a lot of people are still of the perception that they can wait and they will think that, because of the pandemic, prices are going down. Okay, we have addressed this in the start, so I don't want to repeat myself, but to add on more points, okay, some of the things that we see in the market now that we think will keep prices stable is these things. Number 1, there's a reduced supply of land. Okay, so government also know that the market is stable, but they don't want to destabilize it. So how to don't destabilize it? They control the supply. So they release lesser land. So lesser land, what means that developer have to contest harder for the land, means that the land price will likely hold. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, number two is the sites that they launch are actually better sites also. So people will go and bid for these sites. Okay, so that's two. Okay, they don't launch a funny site that it won't be contested. They launch good sites and they launch very little sites. So this is one way that government probably want to do to keep the the price of land more stable, to continue the resilience of the real estate market. Okay. Two is, developers are given time to calibrate their bids. Okay, so normally, from the land sales tender, to announcement to close of tender is 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, the recent land launches like Tanah Merah and the Yishun EC, we see the government give 5 to 6 months. Okay, so they also don't want developer to knee-jerk anyhow bid and po heng shui. Okay, they give developers a long time to work out their numbers. They give developers a long time to see where the market will be in 5 to 6 months time. Okay, and this is in conjunction with the fact that there's not much land in the first place. Okay, so they also want to keep the land stable. Okay, as you and I know, the government also know the market is holding. Okay, the sales figure, I'm sure they are the one that's aware. They're the one that's announcing the sales figure through URA. They're the ones that's announcing the price index through URA. So they know the market is stable. That's why, you see time and again that they say that, whatever we have given to the developers is very reasonable already. The 6-month delay, we won't be removing the cooling measures anytime soon. That's because they also know the market is stable. Okay, but they also don't want to destabilize it. So they are acting on it. They're taking steps to keep the market that way. So these are the two things that they are doing in this period. Okay, at the same time, as we share, we see sustained demand in both the primary and secondary markets. People have been buying. This one we touched on earlier already, so I won't repeat again. Okay, so they always say, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. Okay, so in the worst case scenario, okay, if you buy a freehold tenure, you got forever to wait. Okay, your lease doesn't run down. Okay, so you can afford to wait longer than others. Okay, but we are hoping that you don't need to wait at all, as we mentioned in the beginning. Okay, so let's look at D13 price trend. Okay, we again say in the beginning that we see two periods of massive upswing in the last 20 years. So in 2000 to 2010, Potong Pasir transacted about $800. Okay, this is from IERA Analytics. You can go and see yourself. So at the peak of about $800, actually more lower, closer to 600. Okay, but I just take the higher number. Okay, I don't want to cherry pick my number, so I pick the higher number. Okay, and then we went up to about 1,005 in the 2013 upswings. Okay, went up to 1,005. Okay, and the recent 1.7 upswing went up to 1,008. Okay, so we saw roughly 125% increase in the last 20 years from 800 to about 1,008. Okay, the last upswing in 1.7 increased by about 20% to 1,005 to 1,008. Okay, so can we continue to grow at this kind of rate? Or is there any things to keep this rate growing? Okay, besides the macro factor of the market itself, is there any micro factors that will spur this growth or keep demand for this area high rather than just the market as a whole moving? Okay, so first things first, we look at how much. First things first, we look at the growth in the area. Okay, so this brings us to the Kallang River. I think the Kallang River is a bit forgotten. Okay, but if you were following the concept plan and the master plan over the last 10 years, you realize that although now the talk is all about Punggol Digital District, North Coast Innovation Corridor, Jurong Lake District, Paya Lebar, do you know that Kallang River site actually was one of the planned big hubs alongside Jurong Lake District and Paya Lebar Central? Okay, we don't really hear about it now. Okay, but I think when this decentralization concept plan was released, so there's actually 3 new hubs: Jurong Lake District, Paya Lebar Central, and Kallang Riverside. Okay, so this is very much in the government's plan to redevelop Kallang Riverside. Okay, so the river will bring along change in what way? So first things first, there are a lot of plans to inject life along the Kallang River by URA. So there's the Old Kallang Airport, okay, and there's Kampong Bugis. So this one will be mixed use lifestyle hub, okay, and the Kampong Bugis will be a residential precinct. Okay, so this is why I wanted to use my laptop. Okay, but don't worry, when you get the slide, you will be able to click and you can see the whole map. So this is actually very near us, and all along the river, there are improvements being made to the river. Okay, so this brings some room for imagination. Okay, this one, Didi Dave will touch on a bit more next week. Okay, I just want to identify that, these things are very near us. Okay, so when there are growth areas near us, the surrounding land will be sought after. And then this will build a base as to compare our price by. Your default price will only increase if the surrounding price is increasing. Okay, so let's take a look. Number one, how much is the current price at Kallang River? Okay, Kallang River side this year, there's 2 transactions. Okay, 2,400. Okay, if you look at the location now, got nothing. So it's commanding $2,400 for, very much just solo kia by itself is $2,400 now. Okay, in the future, maybe more. But current asking price at Kallang River is already 2,400 for a whole lot of empty land. Okay, then you have to endure the development some more. Okay, in the future, probably higher. But at the moment, 2,400 to come and sit here first and wait for it to develop. Okay, so redevelopment may create opportunities that Myra will leverage on. Okay, why I say this is, as you know, there's a lot of land that's near us that's freehold. So we also want the hope that in future, the existing new launch prices will be more expensive than us. But there is not much new land around us in the first place. But second, the only option is freehold. So all these river activities will give incentive. So will all these things in future, be redeveloped? Okay, one can only guess, but that gives a direction in the future. Okay, the other thing is, there's actually a lot of upcoming growth areas that's near us. Okay, like I mentioned earlier on, we are close to CBD, but we are also close to the decentralization hubs that the government is actively looking at in the last few years. So first things first, of course, is Bidadari New Town. It's about 4 minutes drive and just one stop away, 1 minute. Okay, and then Serangoon is targeted to develop into a sub-regional center. So this is currently next. This is actually where our show flat is now. So actually, this is the Park Colonial, Sui Residences, Myra, and the Woodleigh Residential show flat. So this whole plot of land is actually targeted to convert into a commercial. Okay, dark blue is commercial. Okay, light blue is, I think, commercial plus residential. Okay, so this is commercial. Okay, Bishan, okay, 9 minutes away. Okay, there's also plans to transform it into a sub-regional center. So, there's a whole lot of land that's catered for commercial. Dark blue is commercial. So it's also an upcoming sub-regional center. And then, you have, of course, Punggol Digital District. That's 17 minutes drive and 15 minutes right away. It's a direct right. Okay, so this will be the future digital district of Singapore with a university. Okay, so with all this growth, okay, there is a base. So you also want to buy into a place where you know that there's growth surrounding it. Okay, the area is not stagnant. Okay, there's also a lot more potential growth. Okay, this is all imagination or things that could happen. This one Dave will elaborate a bit more on next week. Okay, but I look at what is already announced. Okay, these are the things that we know is gonna happen. Okay, so in 5-10 years time, how much will it cost to own a freehold here? As we mentioned, the only way to get freehold is to buy existing freehold land and collective sale and unblock it, right? So currently there's a few freehold near us. Okay, 18 Woodsville is going at the highest, about 1,006. Okay, One Leicester is about 1,004. Intero is about 1,003. Okay, Addition quite new not likely to unblock so soon, but it's about 1,008. Okay, so let's ignore all the things that we've seen earlier. Okay, we see that earlier on, Potong Pasir in the last growth shoot by 20%. We very conservative, we halve it. Okay, 10%. Okay, the popular consensus, if you read the papers over the last 2 years, a freehold developer usually have to pay about 20% premium over the existing price. Again, we more conservative, we halve it. So 10% and 10%. So instead of 40%, I just take 20%, half of it. Okay, so what will the land cost be if there's a freehold land that come up to us nearby? If you take One Leicester, okay, 20% of 1,004 is $280. The land price is 1,680 already. And this is not that the plot ratio increase. So even if they unblock, the GFA will probably remain relatively same. Okay, so the land price is already at my most conservative is 1,680 already. Okay, if we look at things like 18 Woodsville, the land price will be close to 2,000 already, assuming that we have this this very, very conservative guess. Okay, and of course, again, we project these numbers, your client or even maybe you yourself, you're like, Chunbo, you look back 5 years, 10 years now, have this kind of growth or not? It is always happening. It's just that always at this point of time, we will always think that the price is expensive. So again, besides this area, you look along the Kallang River. Okay, if you are familiar with the area, a lot of these are actually shop houses and old factories. They are not in use already. So there will be incentive to sell if there's a good price, and there'll be incentive to buy, okay, when there's nearby growth. Okay, so this area is not stagnant. Okay, there's a lot of growth nearby that if developers may want to come in, and end of the day, it's always good if you have a future base that's higher than you. Okay, I think that is the basic thing that you want as a property owner. That the future price of development near you is higher. Okay, and it's very likely that based on what we have seen, that if there's any freehold coming up near you, they probably have to pay a higher price to get it. Okay, so although, I don't dare to say that our price is low, okay, but I can quite confidently say that if there's a future freehold near where we are, you likely have to pay more. Okay, you most likely will have to pay more for it. Okay, so as I mentioned many times, okay, the current price will usually look cheap with the benefit of hindsight. Okay, I know that, if your client look at, one bedroom over 1 million, they may think that, hey, it's not cheap. Okay, but I always remember, 5 years ago, even as early as 5 years ago, when we go for project meetings with developer, we always tell them, 1 million is the threshold. 3-bedroom, try not to cross 1 million. Okay, for OCR. Okay, now, which OCR 3-bedroom never crossed 1 million one. Even EC 3-bedroom also crossed 1 million already. So, 5 years ago, whatever we think is the norm, now is destroyed already. Okay, so I just repeat again, okay, the current price usually looks cheap with the benefit of hindsight. And I can't guarantee you, I can only tell you based on, what we have seen, what I've shared with you, that future price will likely be higher. Okay, the market is likely gonna move forward once this pandemic is behind us. And we think that there's enough growth around the area to sustain the future prices to create, a benchmark for you to be compared to in the future. Okay, so yes, we are not cheap. Okay, I don't dare to say that we are bargain, fire sale price. Okay, but I think we are reasonable, and I think this is a very, very fair price for freehold next to MRT. And most of all, you want freehold next to MRT, you don't buy here. Where else you want to find? How many options do you have if you want freehold, let alone freehold next to MRT? Okay, so we have a rare product as well. Okay, so this is a product with a lot of strengths. Okay, we only have 85 units. So we hope that, you reach out and share with your clients. Our viewing will start from 19th of September. Okay, we hope that we can sell, maybe sell as much as we can on the first day. We hope that we will do well. And we really think that, this is something that, fans of freehold near MRT, they are looking at. In fact, we know that a few ex-owners, they are committed to buy already. Okay, so hopefully, you bring your client early and we can secure a unit for them as well. Okay, so to summarize, market, today we have talked about the market. Okay, the resilient real estate market, okay, is outperforming other sectors, and that is looking to have strong upside potential. Okay, tenure, okay, we have a rare and valuable freehold lease, freehold tenure. Okay, it's something that even money may not be able to buy. In the future, even you have money, you also may not be able to buy a freehold tenure. New launch don't say old one. Okay, in the future, maybe if there's no freehold land, you want to buy a freehold new launch, you got money, also cannot buy. Okay, you can only buy resale, you cannot buy first hand. Okay, location, MRT and all your daily needs at your doorstep. We also city fringe. And lastly, it's a product, okay, with a well-designed development, okay, with just 85 units at a very attractive price. Okay, like I said, I don't dare to say cheap. I can only say it's fair, and I can only say that, you probably can't find anything else similar in the market. Okay, so next week, okay, this is not the end. Okay, next week we have part 2 of the briefing. Okay, we will look a bit more into, the potential, a bit more on the imagination, the upside. Okay, today I share briefly, but what I share is a bit more based on facts that's announced. Okay, next week we will probably touch on things that, there are possibilities. Okay, these are the kind of things that cater to imagination. Okay, so you look at it. Is it possible that we will have a river route to CBD in the future? Why not? Right or not? You think about it, why not? Okay, last time, if you remember long ago, there's this river right now. So with the whole world going transport light, car light, all these, is it possible to have, a few terminals? Then from here, you just take a boat down to CBD in the future, then take a boat home. Is it possible? Why not? Okay, is there a lot of land on the riverside that's near us that could be possible? Ferry terminals or stops? Why not? Okay, but of course, like I say, all these things are a bit more in the realm of imagination. Okay, these are some things that maybe we will be exploring next week with Dave. Okay, could the Kallang River rejuvenate upstream and create a new Clarke Quay? Because you think about it, they're doing so many beautiful things to the river down. Cannot be then you go up the river, then it become like now, right? Like, you look at Moonstone, all the shop houses, all these, river, waterfront land in Singapore is always valuable, right? Now, for some reason, although we are surrounded by water, okay, Singaporeans like water view, be it pool view, sea view, river view, whatever view. As long as got water, people pay. Okay, so now here you have a full Kallang River view. Okay, of course, 3 residences is here, it's already launched. Okay, but there's so much land that could be developed here that's along the river. Like I say, all these factories are already not in use already. Sooner or later that something is done to this land. Okay, so how maybe this one become a new lifestyle district? How you know? So again, these are some things. Of course, there's some basis in the master plan. We are not pulling this fact out of thin air. Okay, there's some basis. There's some plans that have been talked about. Just that it's not announced. It's not like Paya Lebar, I'm going to make it come true, or Punggol Digital District, I'm going to make it come true. Okay, it's some early concept plans that the government has already rolled out. So again, could the Kallang River rejuvenate upstream and create a new Clarke Quay? Okay, this one is in the realm of imagination. This one I disclaimer. Okay, disclaimer, purely speculative. Okay, will there be enhancement and improvement to Potong Pasir? Okay, and finally, Potong Pasir is actually a very small town. You look at it, the HDB is very little. Okay, so with relatively few and old HDB flats, will there be alternative plans for the prime city fringe land or not? So if you look at it, government say that, they are not very into search all this. But, is this one area that is targeted for search? Like I say, my mother-in-law stays in Potong Pasir. So I go to the area, I can really tell it's not the most young friendly area. So these are the people that if you really don't give them a new house, they probably won't be able to buy a new house. So what's the best plan to do for all these people? You give them a new place to serve, to stay, and then you take the land and you do something else with it, right? Of course, again, these are imagination, but if you don't believe me, you just take a walk around Potong Pasir. Okay, if they tell these people, sorry, your lease is up, you need to find somewhere else to stay, all these people will have nowhere to go. Okay, so again, again, it's a bit of imagination, but these are some ideas or things that could happen in the future. Of course, it's some of it is speculative, some of it is there's truth in the concept plans, but these are some things to think about that, next week maybe Dave will share a bit more. Okay,